Hello everyone on YouTube, it's Jordan here again, and today I'm bringing you another video. And in this video I'm going to be talking about a game called bokurano, daibouken 3, or BK3 for short. Today I'm going to be discussing the great weapons that you can get in the game. So, without further ado, let's go. So, at number 1 we have the laser saber. Now, this weapon is really great for a number of reasons. One, its attack power is 800, which means you can do quite a lot of damage with it. And two, you can shoot down enemies from above. Some enemies, that is. That's the soldiers. And three, it's got an amazing sound. And that's what makes the laser saber so cool. I quite like the sound of it. Okay, moving on to our next weapon is number 2. Not many people know about this one, and it's one of those weapons that you kind of miss when you speed through the game, but it can be found on stage 9-2. It's the needle launcher. Now the needle launcher is just as it sounds. If you remember fighting the insects in subsequent stages of the game, you'll know how this needle launcher works. You'll be able to do it yourself. Now the attack depends on what level you are, and it multiplies that level by 5. So the attack can be anything, and it works regardless of your attack stat. And is a very decent weapon to have around. Number 3, the short sword. Great for the early parts of the game. The short sword has an attack of 30 and does a lot more damage than the club that you're given in the tutorial. So if you've still got the club, I recommend putting it in the item warehouse or dropping it and discarding the thing. Because, let's be honest, nobody needs that club anymore. It's only for the tutorial. Yeah. So, yeah, I recommend using the short sword when you can. Number 4, the steel plate launcher. Now this is really good in the early game, and I recommend you take this weapon when you're going up against the powerful bear boss in stage 1-4, because it's a lot more powerful than the weapons you've got now, and it's got the highest attack stat of all the weapons you've got now. But then again, the power does depend on your attack stat. This steel plate launcher, you are required to have some a certain number of tech stats. So just clarify that the steel plate launcher allows you to fire steel plates, and you can get some steel plates with the launcher. The earliest place you can possibly get it is in stage 1-1. You have to go into the staff room, and then where you find the key, you'll also hear a noise. If you investigate that, you'll see a box that you can't open. So just destroy the box with the current weapon that you've got, and there you have it. You've got some weapons with you. Now the next weapon we're going to be talking about is the press hammer. Now this is the best option if you just want to turn enemies away from you, and say you've got any allies fighting alongside you and you don't want enemies hitting you. It's a great place to turn them away from you. You'll still do some damage to them, but you won't do a lot of damage. But it's a great way to keep enemies away from you. So you better have other allies with you when you're using this weapon. It's not good. So next weapon is the wide hammer. Now this comes in handy against those bosses that can fly a lot, because it goes really wide, and it's great for smashing those lamps. and you should have a really high attack stat by the time you should have a high attack stat by the time you get the wide hammer, because everyone knows that that it's the most aside from the weapons you've got now, it's probably the most powerful one. Keep in mind though that it does consume a lot of stamina. Whereas if you use, say, the laser saber later on, it doesn't consume any stamina. So if you want to play the game without losing any stamina, you're probably best off using a weapon that doesn't take any stamina. The next weapon I'm going to talk about is the red pachinko. Now this one is really cool. It's defense piercing, and can hit enemies no matter how high their defense is. Great against bosses. When you do buy the pachinko balls, it comes in sets of 100, so you can buy balls for the red pachinko. And yeah, just decent. I haven't tried all the weapons in the game yet because I'm still on stage 11-2, which is really tricky despite the weapons I've currently got. So that's all I want to talk about in terms of weapons. Stay tuned for my next video in the future where I'll be talking about the most annoying enemies in the game. I'm probably going to do a whole series of BK2 commentaries, but I'm not going to be playing the game, I'm just going to be doing some talking about it. Because as you know, my computer's camera doesn't catch sound really well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video of the BK3 weapons. Although some of them are in BK2, but not all of them. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.